Hello. Before we get into this, just take a breath with me. I want you to really feel into this. Have you ever wanted to change something in your life and meant it? Like truly, truly meant it. You told yourself, this time it's different. I'm not doing this again. I'm ready. And then a few days later, or maybe a few hours later, you are right back in it. Same pattern, same reaction, same result. If that's you, stay with me, because this is not a willpower problem. And it's not because you're not trying hard enough. There's something deeper going on. Hello, and welcome to the Aligned Human Project. I'm your host, Dawn Elgin, Contrarian Soul Guide, founder of Practical Spiritualism, and creator of Field and Form, the 12 Laws of Co-Creation. And here, we don't just talk about awakening. We talk about what it actually takes to live it. So let's start here. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your patterns, but you are the one that is aware of them, the witness. And from that place, you are constantly generating a field through your thoughts, through your emotions, through your beliefs, through your nervous system. And from that field, your life takes shape. Your choices, your behavior, your results. That'll include your relationships and work. So whether you realize it or not, you are always creating. You see, often we're trying to fix our life directly. If something's going on with my health, then I try working it through exercise or some form of therapy or maybe medication or surgery or drugs. I work on food, movement, all super important. Do not get me wrong. But we don't recognize is that form is feedback. My physical body is trying to give me information about my subtle body. And so your physical body is made up of your body, your breath, and your environment. The people around you, those relationships, all form. And all of them are a reflection of what's happening in your subtle body or your field. And so the form is feedback, trying to let you know of what's going on with your thoughts, what's going on with your emotions, because they can become such habitual patterns, we're not even aware of them. We don't realize how often we judge. We don't recognize how often we have expectations. We don't realize how often we're not present in this moment. We're replaying some situations that happened in the past, or we're future forecasting, trying to plan with, backups of plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And so we're trying to control what's going to happen in our outcomes. So we don't actually want to work only on form directly. We want to take a look at what's happening in the field, because our life is downstream from our field. We come through the field first, and then it collapses into a form. An easy way to see this. You've got friendships that are based off of common enemies, gossip, drama. So if you want to change that quality of relationships that you're having, the kind of people that you're attracting into your life, then we need to take a look at what's happening inside. Because if there's a lot of drama going on in here, or we're going to judgment, into us versus them mentality, then the problem is we can't change any of those things, those behaviors, those thoughts, those patterns, without changing the relationships, because they're based on the way that we are thinking, feeling, and behaving. So if we want to change that, then we need to take a look at, what am I thinking? Am I ready to shift? This is where the laws come in, flow over control, where we look at releasing expectations, judgments, and the need to know why things happen as they do. We stop trying to control all of our outcomes to move more into a float state, which allows us to be at ease. And in that state of being more at ease, less judgmental, we're going to attract a different quality of relationship. This is what I mean when I say our form, our environment, is downstream from our field. Nothing changes in your life until your field changes. Now, here's where this gets uncomfortable. You can want something and still not be able to choose it, because wanting happens in the conscious mind, but your life is being run by the subconscious, and your subconscious is not wired for what you want. It's wired for what's familiar. There's a part of you that is aware, the witness, superconsciousness, soul or spirit, your higher self, expanded self. And then there's that part of you that is conditioned, your subconscious, your patterns, your identity built from your past. And then there's your conscious mind, the part of you that says, I want to change. Here's the problem. Most people are trying to use conscious mind to override subconscious, and it doesn't work. Your brain and nervous systems are designed for efficiency. So once something becomes familiar, it becomes automatic, like driving a car. And that's why habits feel instant, reactions feel fast, and patterns repeat. About 95% of your behavior is subconscious. So you can consciously want something different and still live the exact same way. So we can say things like, I said I wouldn't do this again, and I did. Maybe it's a tumultuous relationship with a parent, and you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to talk to them, and I'm just going to stay calm, and I'm not going to bring up the past, and I'm not going to freak out, and all these things. And you get on the phone, great intention. It was conscious. But as you get on that phone and a pattern starts to repeat because they haven't changed their pattern, then all of a sudden you just blow up. You hit the switch and it all goes sideways again. Or maybe it's something like, I know this isn't good for me, and yet you keep choosing it. Maybe that's with food or a habit, such as smoking, drinking. Maybe it is laziness, watching TV, some form of coping mechanism, all habitually patterned now. Even though you know it's not serving you, it still happens because knowing isn't creating. And this is where most people end up turning on themselves. They think, I lack discipline, or I'm not committed enough, or something is wrong with me. It's not true. You are not broken. You're patterned. Your system is doing exactly what it was trained to do. You'd put in the reps, and now your body is loyal to the past. That's all. Your ego is not the enemy. It's the identity built from that past. It's what says, this is who I am. This is how I react. This is what keeps me safe, even if it keeps you unhappy. And your pain body is stored emotional experience. So when you try to change, you're not just changing a behavior. You're actually challenging an identity. And your system will resist that because even if it's unhealthy, it still feels normal. So what actually changes this? It's not willpower. It's not trying harder. It's regulation and repetition. You have to make the new state feel safe. And the only way to do that is by practicing it. The nervous system changes through experience, not ideas. So every single time you pause, choose differently, and then stay with a new state, you are literally rewiring your system. You're literally creating new neuroplasticity. So what it would look like, you're on that call with your parent. They are doing the same behaviors that they've always done. Remember, they weren't the one that was planning on changing. And you're on the call and you catch it. You start to feel yourself getting reactive. I don't want you to resist that. I want you to notice the discomfort. Maybe it will mean keeping a sticky note that's in front of you that just simply says, keep breathing, or has your intention written there. So you keep that right in your line of sight. So you know what that intention is. Or maybe it is keeping a pad of paper or a book beside you so you can do what I refer to as brain dumping in active time, which would be feeling rage, experiencing tension in my body. They keep talking. What they're saying has nothing to do with you. That's them. You are the one that's reacting to that. It's you. You're the one you need to control. So we want to catch the moment and we want to stay with discomfort instead of reacting to it. And we just breathe. And then we choose calm instead of the default. That can look like saying, hey, dinner's ready. I'm going to get off the phone now. Or maybe it's setting yourself up for success. And you say, hey, just finishing up and getting ready for dinner. What's going on? Which means you've given a limit to the time that you can be on the phone. Or, hey, I'm just waiting for a call. Or I have somebody coming over. Something that gives you an out. And then when you start to notice the reaction, you breathe. And when you feel like you're getting close where you're going to react, you say, I'm really sorry, but I got to get going now. And you hang up the phone. So then we understand the difference between reacting to something that's going on outside of you to responding, responsibility. We keep the ability to respond from what's here instead. What's your intention? Can we keep that as the focal point? So although we want to react, we recognize we pause, we stay, and then we choose differently, even if it's getting out. This is how identity changes. This is how we create self-trust. So let me ask you this. If your body is wired from the past and your mind wants something different, which one is actually creating your life? And more importantly, which one are you practicing? So let's make this real. Go ahead and just take a moment, take a pause, take a breath, and feel what's actually present in your body. Are you holding tension somewhere? Not the story, the sensation. Zoom out. And now ask, does this feel familiar or aligned? And then, what would aligned feel like instead? And then we choose it, even if it's slightly. For myself, I notice that when I'm triggered, I get tension and I hold it on the right side of my body. So when I check in with my body and I notice that I'm holding, alignment feels like softness. So I take a moment, I adjust my shoulders, I align my body, and I breathe into my pelvis. And I recenter, and this is where I move from. You don't change your life by deciding once. You change your life by practicing something new. We put in the reps until it becomes who you are or what you are. And if this resonates, this is the work we do inside Align Your Life, inside of the Aligned Human Project, and inside Alignment Operating System. Moving from awareness to embodiment, consistent creation. In your life and in how you lead and how you show up in the systems that you are a part of. If you're here to build a life that doesn't cost you your nervous system, to lead, to love, and to create from alignment instead of exhaustion, you're in the right place. This is practical spiritualism. This is the Aligned Human Project. And this is where we stop reacting to life and we start creating it. Alignment isn't something you achieve. It's something that you practice. So keep pausing, keep feeling, and keep choosing. You are the witness. You shape the field, and the field shapes your life.